Hello and welcome to another episode of the KFACE podcast. My name is Jeff Ramsey. With me, as always, Gavin Free and Andrew Panton. This is episode 146, and let me just say off the bat, crisis averted.
Yeah?
Everybody stand down.
Crisis averted?
We're good.
What happened? There was a crisis?
Hello? Hey, buddy.
Okay?
There was a... Shut up.
Again.
There was a potential crisis where I needed to have some work done on my roof last week. I had to get I have a little shed in the back. I had storm damage, right? This was part of the continuing process of surviving Austin. As I had storm damage, and I needed to have my roof on my little shed replaced, and then I needed to have some sealant work and some flashing and stuff fixed. On my house roof, and they couldn't show up. And then they missed their appointment, and then they just showed up today and were on my roof an hour ago, stomping around with with air compressors going. And I was like, "Fuck, man, this is gonna suck." And they're totally gone. They're just gone.
I need to stop you right there.
Why?
What
You
happened?
didn't do the preview.
What do you mean? What preview?
Oh yeah, we haven't done it yet. We need to plan it. I was thinking about that. We need to probably figure out what the preview. At least
What do you mean?
Figure out.
The bit where you set up the thing and then we go back to it? Is that what we're talking about?
I mean, I can give you one right now.
Well, it's still a little late now.
Yeah,
Do you wanna do it
I
next
feel
time?
like it's strange. We've already started unless you want to re-edit the sequence. See, this is why you being on time is a real problem, Gavin. If you were here 2 minutes early.
To be fair, I was screaming, wait at the beginning, but I guess my mic wasn't on.
No,
it just didn't come through Discord.
It didn't come through at all.
I shouted hello.
That's what we heard.
Okay.
Okay,
next week then.
Yeah, we'll do it next week. Good reminder. Thanks, buddy. If we did it now, it would just be the actual thing. So we can't.
Well, it would be a preview for later in the episode, I guess.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that. Not often do people preview 75% of the way through a podcast, 25% of the way into the podcast.
Strap in, the last act.
Eric has a problem with that bit.
No,
He
it's
does?
just it's the way you did it. It sucked.
Yeah, it's 100%.
It's very
what it is,
confusing.
Yeah.
Oh, but the concept is strong. Okay.
No, I mean, no, it's not, but that's fine. It's not a strong concept. And also, you said, to be fair, and then talked about how your mic wasn't working, and I don't know what's fair about that.
Well,
You came
know,
not prepared. What's
as in,
fair?
I know that it shouldn't be after the intro. I've tried to put it before. To be fair.
You were on time and were not prepared. I don't know what's fair about any of that.
I didn't change anything. I kept yelling until it eventually came through. I don't know what you want from me. I didn't change a thing.
I want you here 1 minute early so that way we can plan these things and then not have to spend the first 3 minutes on them.
It's not a big
That's
ask.
fair.
It's a 1
It's not a
minute
big
early thing.
No, it's not at all. Yeah.
If we're talking about what's fair, that's fair.
I have to agree with Eric on almost everything he said, except it not being a strong idea. Gotta agree with Gavin. It's a very strong idea.
But we're not. It doesn't matter.
We're gonna do
I
it.
put it. Here's the thing. For the
157.
invite for next week, I have called it KFACE 147. Don't forget the preview. So hopefully that helps everyone.
That does.
remember.
That's a great reminder.
Appreciate
This
that.
interaction reminded me we should circle if we're talking about recapping things. Eric, what was your smallest thing? What did you buy? 2 questions with that.
I bought a very small lip balm. It was very tiny. I'm upset with Gavin. I think we were fleeced. I don't want to rehash the whole thing that you guys got into, but I was absolutely with Jeff. I felt bamboozled upon hearing it. Absolutely furious that it was Gavin's idea, and we kept deferring to Andrew like it was his idea after being told that it was his idea. So I don't really.
Okay.
I don't know what the whole point was.
It doesn't matter whose idea it is. We were all together.
We
It
were
makes sense.
talking to you about the rules. And if it was your idea, you dictate the pace.
The only rule I had was that you have to buy it as the single item. You ignored that rule and bought it together. And
Shut up, because we had questions and you were there and it's your thing and it would be your job to answer the questions, to clarify the rules.
I wanted
You
to
can't
discuss.
just go, I have one rule. If we have questions, your job there is to clarify.
I wanted to discuss the damn rules in an episode before we
Also,
did it.
that's the other thing. You talking about it made no sense in like, yeah, we'll figure this out in the episode. We already fucking did it.
Yeah, you bought the thing. I don't know what you're talking about. Was that a trial run? Like, what was that?
Like,
what was your cherry?
Why were we even at the fucking store if you weren't ready to do your bit?
If you wanted to figure it out first, why did we do it?
Because the day before, I sent a picture to Andrew, said, I'm scouting, I'm looking around, I'm at the HEB, I'm sort of getting ideas. And Andrew was like, we're already doing this tomorrow. I was like, oh. Because I forgot we planned to do that. So I didn't... That was before the episode recording. We just went and did it because Andrew said we were doing it.
So do you think at that point you should have, maybe you can like be on your toes and ready to answer any fucking questions that we have about the thing that we're doing?
I don't know.
We didn't discuss any of the rules regarding...
Well, we don't have to discuss the rules. It's your thing. You come up with the rules.
But I wanted to discuss with Andrew in an episode so we could finalize the rules to the point where we were doing it all together on that point. So we might as well defer to Andrew as the judge because he's going to be the one who's going to have stipulations.
I wish Nick was here.
This whole thing happened because you talked to Andrew and Andrew told you when your idea was being done and you listened to him?
Yeah.
Andrew said, we're doing this tomorrow, and you said, oh, okay, boss.
Well, I don't want to kill the bit. If he was already out shopping, I'm not going to step it. Look, I'm a yes man. I'm ready to go. I would rather have the rules planned out.
Here's the deal.
Oh my God.
Here's the deal. We don't want to rehash this, all right?
I just snorted coffee all over my key. I hate this stupid bit. I salad creamed it. I admit to it. I wrecked it. And now I've got coffee on my keyboard.
Please take a photo. Andrew, we actually, it feels like it's been a fucking year since we did a podcast. I hate when we take weeks off because so much happens. We had a pizza party. Not last weekend, I guess the weekend before.
Okay.
And this all came up, and Eric and Gavin went at it. I'm surprised that there's still this amount of anger because I thought they got out of their systems.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. I just wanted to make sure Eric knew that and we had that moment. That was perfect. That was good. That was better than I could have imagined. That
I loved it.
I'll be honest. I knew in the last recording that Eric was going to rail me, and I was preparing for it. And then he railed me in real life at Pizza Party. And I thought for this recording, we've already had the discussion mainly. I'm just going to remain cool. He immediately got on my back.
Because I listened to it and I went, well, then what the fuck was all that? And it just brought it back to the surface because nothing was resolved.
So what type of pizza? Did you guys make pizzas? Did you order pizzas?
Oh, Geoff is a pizza master.
Oh, he's a pizza guy.
Dude, I don't know how to tell. Like, did we have 6 pizzas? And every one was better than the previous.
The more pizzas I eat that Geoff cooked, the more pissed off at Geoff I am that he butchered my ploumans. He made a floury slop out of my amazing ingredients, and every pizza after that has been an absolute goldmine of flavor and texture.
Well, there's some reasons for that. First off, last time when we were making the videos for KFACE, we used pre-cooked dough. This time I went and bought like fresh dough and did the whole like spin it out in the air like an asshole kind of thing, and the chef like did that whole thing, and then made the pizza on top of that, so the dough actually cooked with the pizza, and then I just got better at it as I went. And also I didn't use any of Gavin's trash ingredients, which helped too, I think. But yeah, it's that pizza oven. I'm not scared of it anymore, man. Oh, I watched 2 YouTube videos this time, so I got like double the knowledge.
So now are you using it to make sure the spiders don't move back in? Is that the strategy of regular usage that the pizza parties are happening? Because you can't have the spiders come back. You need to keep that flame going.
Well, there's that, plus like, I'm trying to be more social these days, and it used to be you'd be like, hey, come over and get drunk at my house, and then people would come over. But when you're sober, you're like, hey, come over to my house, and I'll probably have like a Diet Pepsi, and you could have some like, I don't know, bubble water or whatever you want. So like the pizza makes a great
such a
reason
good
to
draw.
have people over.
I'd be so excited to get invited over to
it's great.
Fresh pizza. Oh, that sounds great,
dude. You have an open invite to you show up at my house, I will immediately go to the store and buy pizza supplies for you. Anytime.
Fantastic.
Night or day, 365 days a year for the rest of my life.
That sounds so good. I'm glad you're a pizza guy. I'm glad that it sounds like the pizza oven is now going to stay, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Fantastic.
I fucking love it. Yeah, we've been having so much fun with it. And it gets easier every time.
That's great. On the subject of food, if you don't mind me changing subjects for a little bit. I have discovered, it was a conversation we had before. People have, the way that I had burger confidence, I feel like in interactions I've had, people have bite confidence. We're talking about like the average bite to completion on various food items. And I'm going to post a photo of it. I got a Costco hot dog. Post a photo for you guys to see. I want you to guess how many bites, including chewing, it took to consume this hot dog. How many do you think it would take you? And how many do you think it took me? Standard hot dog.
Oh, there's no scale there. How long's that?
It's a Costco hot dog. Yeah, it's like I'd say it's foot.
Oh, there's a finger under it. Never mind. There's scale.
Oh,
it's a big hot dog.
See. Costco hot dog is roughly 8 inches long.
Okay.
That is 5 bites.
5 including chewing. Not just bites. Chewing.
Oh.
Every chew.
So
Chewing.
like chews?
I don't
Well, we did the maths, didn't we, about how many
yeah.
chews?
You're supposed to do like 20 to 30 chews per bite,
which
right?
seemed a lot. I felt that was excessive.
So, Gavin, you'd be 100 chews minimum on that.
That seems high.
You think 100 is high?
I think I'm doing like
Yeah, maybe like 150 looking at
You're
it.
saying 150? Jeff, what did you do? Do you have a guess?
Well, I'm torn between what's appropriate and what I think I would actually do, right? Like, you're supposed to chew 20 times. Do I actually chew 20 times? There are days that I would eat that hot dog in 3 bites and not chew at all.
No.
Just fucking suck it down.
0.
I think I'm like, I'm going to say 180 chews.
Including bites and chews. That hot dog took me 322 chews to consume.
Oh my God.
322.
Wow.
See,
That's
what you think. I'm challenging. Go out, get yourself a Costco hot dog. Tell me how many bites it takes. It's going to be higher than you think.
I don't have a Costco membership. I have a Sam's Club.
You sneak in.
I wonder
Just
if I
sneak
have
in the
any
side door.
membership.
Okay.
Just walk in. My point is, people have real. Next time you're looking at a food item, guess how many chews it will take you, and then count it. I bet you're lowballing by a lot.
To be fair, let's because we want to put this out. The audience might have Costco memberships and they might want to try this out. Not that this is in any way an ad for Costco, but it is definitely an ad for hot dogs. What's the preparation here? It's just a
normal hot dog with
on a
was just what I had.
sesame bun with ketchup. Okay. So that's what the regulation hot dog you would be eating from Costco would be.
I've had this talk with several people since we had a text conversation about this kind of general idea. And every person is way lower on their bite to chew ratio. And then they try to eat something and they're brought to reality very quickly. Much like me with the burgers. Like as soon as I would have the first burger, I'd realize I was in a lot more trouble than I realized going in. I think people greatly underestimate how many bites it takes to consume an item.
Yeah, I think it would stress me out too. Like if I'm approaching like 100 bites and I'm not even halfway through, I'm gonna be like really thinking about it and try to eat and swallow bigger pieces. I hope I don't die.
Why would you? No, you're not trying to get under. Why are you trying to get under a bar? I'm just naturally eat and count your bites.
Yeah, it's not a competition in any direction.
In my head it is.
Okay, so you're trying to eat it in less bites or more bites? Like, how do you win?
What's the game?
Well, I mean, less bites is more impressive.
Is it? Is there any level of impressiveness on either side of this?
Someone's going to choke to death because of a hot dog from this podcast.
It's not a race.
I know it's not a race, but if you knew that Geoff had it in 190 bites and you were almost at the end and you were like on 170,
No.
wouldn't you want to come in slightly under?
It means nothing.
Yes. Yeah,
Eric said yes. Jeff said yes.
I do it in 180.
No,
yeah,
you're right.
absolutely.
I could, if Eric's gonna do it in 180, I'll do it in 175.
There you go.
See,
this is why somebody's going to choke to death eating one of these fucking hot.
That's what I said. We're good at just making a game out of everything.
That's true, but I just there's a limitation. I think because I've gone through so much food abuse with this show that I have a window or a different perspective of that's not real. When you're at 170,
you've become the realist.
Yeah, I've become the realist of food on this podcast. You being at 170 and needing to get to 190. If you can't do it, you can't do it. There's not you can't force that. That's just a thing that's not going to happen.
I like the idea of just shoving in the last lump of hot dog and be like, well, I can bite it 3 times, then I just have to swallow what's in there.
Oh, it's so gross. Or the idea of just keeping it in your mouth to try to break it down a little bit without biting. It's terrible.
Oh,
it's terrible.
Do you think Joey Chestnut could eat 300 hot dogs in the time it takes you to chew one? 300 times?
Definitely, I'd say 100. I'd put him at 100 easily.
Yeah, probably, right? That's fucking crazy to think about it. If you think about now, like you eating a normal hot dog, and how many was it? 300 and what?
It's like 322.
Like a normal hot dog consumption is 322 chews for you, and that dude eats 75 in 90 seconds or whatever the fuck it is. That's wild.
Yeah.
Some people are just built different.
Well, it's like you have to change your lifestyle to be like a Joey Chestnut. Like you need to practice.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Mickey Mantle gene.
I have a clip that I can't believe we let slip through.
Oh.
Okay.
Jeff knows what it is.
Oh. Do I?
Well, I mean, don't you?
What?
Here we go.
I'd be the weird guy in this
Yeah.
one. I was sitting around thinking about our initial.
Jeff, thank you so much. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Well, I don't know what that was.
How about this? I was thinking about our initials the other day, and the five of us, if you take the first letter from each of our first names, it spells an egg.
Wait.
You were thinking about
Andrew,
it's not you. It's not you.
Andrew, Nick, Eric, Jeff, and Jeff. Yeah.
Andrew, Nick, Eric, Jeff, and Jeff.
I was channeling my inner Gus on the RT podcast when he says his name twice, I guess. Yeah, believe me, buddy, I saw 1 billion comments about it the second it aired.
I can't believe I didn't notice that it was my name that was missing.
That's funny.
I'm pretty sure I meant to say Gav and Jeff, but I totally fucking Gregged it.
Another G.
I would say
Is that
something,
Gregging?
but it's another G name. It's got to be, right?
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, hey, one piece of a loose end that's out that there's not really a story to tell, but it just got lost in the fray, and I don't want to leave it hanging. I did get a root canal last week. Just so
no!
If anybody's wondering. Yeah.
No!
There was
I've run out of reactions to you saying that. I don't know how to react anymore.
There was no major story or nonsense to it or anything. I just I was on the way to, I had to record I felt like we gave it a great plug in whatever episode just came out, 154, maybe. But the other podcast I did with Gus, ANMA, I had to swing by the dentist on the way to that podcast just to check in and have the conversation with her about if I needed the root canal or not. And then we figured we'd schedule it for later in the week. And I sat down and she was like, yeah, you need a root canal. And I was like, I definitely need a root canal. And she was like, let's get started. And I was like, whoa. I thought we would do it like Thursday or something. And she was like, I have time today. And I was like, can I come back in like an hour and a half? And so I ran over and I recorded that other podcast and came right back, got the root canal. And that was pretty much it. I don't have any more pain. It's not finished. I got to go back next Tuesday and have the root canal finished and then have my permanent crown put on. And then that'll be the end of my tooth era again, hopefully. But
this was under the crown.
Yeah, it was under the crown.
So they've taken off the crown, done half a root canal. They do the other half of the root canal and then put a new crown on.
Your percentages are off. They've done 90% of the root canal
Okay.
and they have just like a little bit left. But yeah. And then the crown has to be replaced. So the reason I'm doing it Tuesday is because that's when the new crown comes in.
Your dental saga is so extensive that when you said roof earlier, I assumed you meant the roof of your mouth. I immediately went to your mouth and I don't think there's any other person in my life I would make that leap with. I think you're the only one.
Yeah, I had a whole crew of dudes up in the roof of my mouth fixing my tooth shingles.
But you have described like two women crawling around inside your mouth, I think.
That's true. It is absolutely true. That's totally fair. Anyway, so just want to leave that out there. Hopefully nothing goes wrong next Tuesday, but
I mean, nothing could. It's 10%. They just got to do 10%. It's easy.
Fucking tired of talking about my mouth. So
yeah, no, it's fair. It's totally fair. It's been an extensive process. How have things been for you, Gavin? I don't feel like I've talked to you in a long time.
Yeah, I've had it's a busy filming time.
Uh-huh.
But I'm free for more Warzone now.
That's exciting. Did you send out the sticks? Are they still waiting to be mailed?
I have not sent them yet.
Okay. I've been nervous about it. I put my hands above my controller last night, like just to see how far I could hold the controller with my thumbs in the air, and it was alarmingly not a lot.
Around 3 inches, huh?
Yeah, it's not gonna look good. I think I'm gonna quickly run into troubles, but I've been thinking about it. I have some strategies lined up in my head of how I can make
have you
this
been
work.
practicing?
I've played a little bit of Warzone. I haven't played that much recently, but I've been thinking about like how can I make this work? And just to be clear, like I can, as long as my hands are not touching the stick part, I'm good, right?
Yeah, you can twiddle the nubs
Okay.
in any way you want. You can interact with the top nub in any way you want. Any
Got
body
it.
part, I think, is fine. But just, if you're holding the sticks, I think that's cheating.
Yeah. Okay. I've been thinking about like, can I use my chin on my left stick, and then that would free up my left hand? Like what? Just trying to figure out. But I think that would be the easiest. A chin is definitely going to go into play.
Because you were talking about streaming the longest one. I feel like you should stream the early ones because they're going to be the biggest jumps. Like going from 1 inch to 2 inch is going to be way more significant than going from 8 inch to 9 inch.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay, well, I'll do both then. I'll start. I guess I have to start with no sticks, right? Like I have to get a win to get on the sticks?
Normal.
You got to it's like the World Cup qualifier.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I think as soon as you win the first game, like Canada has entered into to the stick game.
What an honor for Canada. A great accomplishment.
Do you have time soon? Shall I get them out this week?
Yeah, man.
Or
Whenever
next week?
I think as quickly as possible.
Oh, Gav, if you're gonna mail something to Andrew, can I throw something small in there that I have to send to him?
Sure.
Okay, thanks. It's no big deal. I'll just I'll get it to you whenever. But just let me know before you mail them, and I'll drive it over.
I'm mad about one of my notes.
What's your note?
I wrote down my first ever childhood disappointment, but I wrote it as that, and I can't remember the disappointment now.
But what if you think about
And
it?
I remember, I've been trying to think about it all day. I'm like, why didn't I write the actual thing? Because I remember thinking about it, being like that. I was like 2 days ago I came up with this note, and I already can't remember what I was thinking about.
So something triggered a memory for you, and you're like, oh, that would have been my first disappointment in life.
And it registered to me as my first letdown.
Really?
I'm so mad I don't know what it is anymore.
Huh.
Maybe a pet thing, Eric says.
Maybe a pet thing.
Yeah, I don't...
Maybe it was a thing about your parents liking your little brother more than you? Because that came up a lot, if I remember correctly.
I'm trying to think. Do you have an immediate answer, Geoff, on your first disappointment to just take Gavin's bit that he doesn't have an answer for?
Yeah. I think I do. I was sitting here in the back of my head just trying to remember my earliest memories. And I think I remember... I think it was shitting my pants.
Oh, that's on brand.
Yeah, I remember being in my grandma's front yard and playing with a kid and knowing I had to poop, but like I was having so much fun playing. I watched this the other day, actually, at that coffee shop that I go to write for face. I watched a kid who was playing, just piss his pants and didn't skip a beat and just kept on playing. He was having so much fun, he didn't care, and he was just covered in urine. And all the other kids ended up getting covered in urine because they were rolling around together. It was fucking disgusting.
You were sat there watching someone else piss?
I mean, I guess I was, yeah. I was just sitting at an outdoor coffee shop that had like a playscape, and a kid was running around.
And it just happened. And you were just enjoying life, and then something happened in front of you.
Well, I was writing recipes for the cookbook, which, by the way, you guys both owe me recipes.
I
do. Yeah, you owe me the Pupples and Gavin, you owe me the Plowmans. And then we're done, and then we can make the stupid book, which is almost done. Anyway, I remember playing with my friends in the front porch or like in the front yard and having so much fun that I just didn't want to stop. And then suddenly I shit my pants and then thinking like being so sad that not that I shit my pants, but that I had to stop. And I remember having to go. I remember going to the front door, knocking on the front door, and telling my grandma I shit my pants, and then that's where the memory stops.
So that's like the biggest your first disappointment in yourself. But it's not like you were thinking, "Oh, shitting myself's gonna be great," and then it wasn't.
No, it was just like the first time I can remember. It's like my second memory at all, and my first memory wasn't disappointing. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. That's an interesting thought. I remember an example Gavin gave is a great point of I don't remember being excited for something and then it not living up to expectations. I feel like I went through that set with like Lego. Like I was never patient enough to build Lego as a kid, but I like getting the sets. I remember at like my third birthday party having a Mario balloon that I thought was so fucking cool. I was like, this is great. I love this fucking Mario balloon. So I kept it in a room away from all the other balloons to be like, I'm going to play with this later. And then my cousin found it and they brought it outside and I was like, Mario. And they got spooked when I did that. I was like, what is Mario doing outside? And they got spooked and they let go of the balloon and it floated away. And I was devastated. That's probably the first time I've ever been disappointed in a person, but not like an event. But I was so demoralized. Just like I specifically moved this balloon to be safe. No balloon is safe. And float away. I still remember just looking into the sky as Mario drifted away.
That is disappointing. That's reminded me of the first time I was disappointed in a person. when I was a kid, I had a Super Nintendo, and I used to play Zelda, Link to the Past, and one of my friends just deleted the save, and I didn't realize that because it was a pre-owned Super Nintendo with pre-owned games. I was just playing on like someone else's save, so I had all the weapons, and I didn't really know how to play, so I was just running around like killing stuff, and I had all this stuff, and then I was just reset to not having any of it, and I was too young to like get it all back. It was gone forever, and my parents were like, I don't know.
Actually, I have a disappointed. This brought up another memory. I was probably around the same age. I decided, and I had completely convinced myself that I was going to make a magic potion, and it was going to be fucking awesome. It was going to be great. And so I had this bowl of water. It was like a little glass bowl of water. And then I filled it with salt and pepper. And then I stirred it, and I was like, this is going to be a magic potion. This is going to be so good. And I drank it, and I like puked, essentially. It was just so, I was just gagging constantly. And it flipped from, this is going to be the greatest thing ever, to, why did I think this would work? This is so bad. This is awful. Never again. I will never do this again. That was probably the first time I was excited about something, and then it was completely derailed by reality of what it was. It's completely ignorant to salt, water, and pepper not being a good mix.
I had a similar kind of toy disappointment moment like that, where here's another one that just triggered. When I was 3 or 4, somebody got me for Christmas a little toy called a Toonieeville Choo Choo. It was a little train that played music. I will never forget the Toonieeville Choo Choo, and it was the loudest goddamn toy, which is why I liked it. And everybody in my family hated the Toonieeville Choo Choo to the point where they would only let me play it outside or play with it outside. Oh my God, there's my Toonieeville Choo Choo. That's it. Oh yeah, dude, that thing was fucking fabulous. And my mom got so fed up with me one day, she gave me my grandpa's tools and said, I bet you can't figure out how it works. And so I took the whole goddamn thing apart, and it was over. And then I realized after I had taken it apart, I realized I don't know how to put this back together. And I did realize in that moment at like maybe 4, my mom knew I wouldn't be able to put it back together. And I was pretty fucking disappointed in my mother and myself that day.
Oh my God.
You see that thing at the top? It looks like a giant, looks almost like a red penny.
Yeah.
It's like, those are songs. You like slot them in.
Oh,
and then it plays different songs.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fucking cool. It was super cool until I destroyed it.
That's devastating.
It's weird how the earliest disappointments are like just scarred into our brain.
Yeah.
Outside of yours, which you can't remember.
Yeah, mine's healed, I guess.
You're a lot mentally healthier than we are, Gavin. You're far more evolved.
I just repressed it.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially because we're always growing and changing. I mean, as we go through life, we will have things happen to us that will impact us in ways we probably won't ever understand unless we talk about it with someone. Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding, because sometimes we don't know what we want or why we react the way we do until we talk through things. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. Therapy is something that has greatly benefited my life, and I would strongly recommend it to anyone. It's just a really impactful experience. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and catered to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/face today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/face. You've heard me talk about how important it is to have a VPN to protect your online privacy, but choosing a VPN you trust is equally as important. Now, I like to do my research on sponsors, and I only recommend brands to my listeners that I believe in. I can say with full confidence that ExpressVPN is the best VPN on the market. Here's why. Number 1, ExpressVPN doesn't log your activity online. Lots of cheap or free VPNs make money by selling your data to advertisers, but ExpressVPN doesn't do this. They even developed a technology, trusted server, that makes their VPN servers incapable of storing any data at all. Number 2, speed. ExpressVPN now uses Lightway, a new VPN protocol they engineered to make user speeds faster than ever. I've tried many VPNs in the past, and they can sometimes slow my connection, but ExpressVPN is always blazing fast and lets me stream videos in HD quality with zero buffering. The last thing that really sets ExpressVPN apart is how easy it is to use. You don't need any technical skills to get it set up, just fire up the app and tap one button to connect. That's it. Even your grandparents could do it. And it's not just me saying this. CNET, Business Insider, The Verge, and many other tech journals rate ExpressVPN as the #1 VPN in the world. So protect yourself with the VPN that I use and trust. Use my link, expressvpn.com/face today, and get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That expressvpn.com/face. Visit expressvpn.com/face to learn more. This is a public service announcement. Manscaped now has beard products and is going even further with their brand new Weed Whacker 2.0. Go ahead and tell the world. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming are traveling north of your South Pole with their revolutionary grooming products. The new Weed Whacker 2.0 and their new beard line confirms they have all the best tools for your hygiene toolbox. Time for you to upgrade your game by going to manscaped.com and using our code FACE20 for 20% off plus free shipping. All of my friends will not stop talking about the Beard Hedger Pro Kit and the Weed Whacker 2.0 and how much confidence it has given them in their appearance. Gentlemen, meet the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It is the ultimate package that makes it easier than ever to craft your signature look. It all starts with the cordless electric Beard Hedger. The Beard Hedger is tough on hair, but smooth on your face, leading to single-stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. This waterproof cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard, so no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. The Pro Kit also comes with 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. This includes Manscaped's beard shampoo and conditioner, beard oil, and beard balm to moisturize, style, and shimmer your new beard. Plus, the kit has 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors. With a nice beard, your face is perfectly groomed, right? Wrong! You need to keep an eye out for those tough-to-trim ear and nose hairs. The brand new Weed Whacker 2.0 offers improved blades and skin-safe technology with a no-tugging guarantee. It's never been so painless to mind your manholes. Now that you have your face looking great, you must try Manscaped's Personal Performance Package 4.0 for the full body grooming experience. Good news, the Performance Package 4.0 now comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0 and all of the other below-the-waist grooming products Manscaped is known for. Your significant other will be delighted to see you covering all bases, if you know what I mean. Wink face. So get 20% off and free shipping with our code FACE20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use our code FACE20. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
I have a couple things that I don't know that we'll have time for everything today because we haven't spoken in a couple weeks, but I did do. I'm trying to maintain if there's any desire for it. I have maintained my movie review thing, and since we didn't record a movie an episode last week, I actually have 2 movie reviews. I could do one or both or neither of those, and then I also. I have a thing, Andrew, that I have specifically kept from you, not because I didn't want to include you in it, but because I showed something to Eric and Gavin at the pizza party that has kind of exploded my life and changed me into, I'm in a new era of a new phase of my life, if you will, a new era. And I would love to bring you into it. And I think that, Gavin was talking about how we're great about making games out of everything. I have created a game that I think we're all going to play for content.
Okay.
Eric said do the reviews and then that first thing. So I'll just do one review and then we'll see if you guys want the second one.
Okay. Can we hear the films and choose?
Okay. Yeah. The first movie is a movie called Triangle of Sadness. And the second movie is a movie called A Report on the Party and Guests. A Triangle of Sadness or A Report on the Party and Guests.
Have you done any other movies?
Those are the 2 movies that I watched, one a week.
I would like Triangle of Sadness.
Well, there you go. Great example. Triangle of Sadness is actually nominated for an Academy Award this year, I believe. It is a new movie. The other movie I watched is an old movie. Boy, that Eric just posted a picture of the movie. That poster says it all. It was made by a man named Ruben Ostand, and here it is. I watched a movie called A Triangle of Sadness. The Triangle of Sadness is about a man's forehead, quite literally. It's about old people throwing up. It's kind of like Below Deck meets Survivor. People have sex for pretzels, and that's pretty much it. So here's how I broke it out. If you are a fan of sex work, of nipples, lots of different kinds of nipples, of old people, of vomit, of old people vomiting, of old people sliding around in their own and other people's vomit and quite possibly pooping themselves at the same time, and lush tropical settings, then you should check it out. Oh, also, it has the only recognizable person in it is, do you guys remember the TV show Cheers?
Yes.
Do you know the guy that, you remember the character Coach who died?
Yes.
And then they had to replace him with a guy named Woody Boyd, kind of a dumb country guy.
I don't remember Woody Boyd, but yes.
Yeah, well, that guy, the guy that played Woody Boyd in Cheers is in the movie. He plays the captain.
Okay.
Based on your description of it, it seems like a suitable pairing would be Guest House Paradiso.
Geoff, they didn't get that it was Woody Harrelson.
That's his name. Woody Harrelson is the guy that played Woody Boyd in Cheers.
I just assumed.
Okay.
Drop that.
Right. His name was also Woody, which is pretty easy to remember.
Yeah, it was just like the first thing I remember seeing him in, so that was what popped to my mind. Woody Harrelson.
Wait.
That's his name. Have you seen Guest House Paradiso?
Yeah.
Is it good?
If you like bottom.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. I like Jeff's reviews
I'll
more than
consider
Gavin
that.
reviews, is what I've determined.
I want to hear your review of a report on The Party and Guests, because it's a Czechoslovakian film that I cannot believe you watched.
Yes, that's the movie. I watched a movie just this last week called A Report on the Party and Guests by a man named Jan Namak. It was filmed in Czechoslovakia in 1966, and here are my thoughts. It's about people in the woods having fun. A lot of people in Czechoslovakia in the 60s like to eat cake with their hands. They like to do a lot of stuff outside that you would normally do inside, like have picnics and eat food. They shave with an electric razor. They like to bathe in the creek in the 60s in Czechoslovakia, even with soap. It was a lot about how sturdy desks are. Most of the people in the film had poor chair posture, I noticed. Also, everybody in Czechoslovakia in 1966 looks exactly like somebody who's in popular culture today. There was a lot of lookalikes in there. The biggest one being a guy who looked just like Cole Escola. And that's pretty much it. They like to eat outside a lot. They had a whole dinner outside. And it's like, I guess the other thing about it is it's an allegory for like oppression and conformity and unquestioned authority, and it's I guess like a teardown of Stalinism, and it was banned in Czechoslovakia for 20 years, and the director had to flee the country, and I don't think he ever got to come back. But it's mostly about people shaving outside and playing pranks on each other and picnics. A lot of picnics.
Which would you recommend out of the two of them?
To watch?
Yeah.
Well, if you're a fan of old rich people vomiting on themselves and on each other, I would recommend that one. If you're a fan of people who look like people you've seen in other stuff having picnics and eating cake with their hands like savages and then taking a bath in a creek in the 60s, I would recommend that one. Sort of the either or.
Why were you shocked when Gavin said, which one would you recommend? And then you said to watch, like there's something else you were going to do with film.
No, I think that's fair. What is your favorite movie, Geoff, to listen to? I have an answer.
Okay.
Tron Legacy. I don't feel like I need to see any of that, but that's a good soundtrack. It's a good soundtrack to that movie. I could listen to that movie all day.
Well, I'll be honest. Unless you speak Czech, you probably shouldn't listen to A Party and Its Guests because there's a lot of reading involved.
Yeah, but do you want to listen to Triangle of Sadness?
I mean,
yeah.
I haven't tried just to listen to it, but have you seen that movie, Eric?
I've seen parts of it and went, not for me.
It's excessive with the vomit.
Excessive is a fantastic word for it.
Yeah.
Excessive, I think, is the right word for it.
So there you go. I've now reviewed 3 films. Those are 2 of the 3 films that I've reviewed, and And there you go. I gave you a new one, Academy Award nominated one, and then an older classic, as it were. Huh?
I get so lost in your movie reviews. I feel like I somehow come away with less of an understanding of a movie I've never heard of than I did going in. For the Czech one, the Winona Ryder one, that motivated me. I actually recommended that movie to someone based off that recommendation of yours.
Without seeing it?
Oh, no, yeah, not at all. It was just, it was the same day. Someone was like, have you seen any good movies recently? And I was just like, this Winona Ryder one, watch that.
Maybe that's what we get out of this, is we get a show where Andrew passes on Geoff's movie reviews and recommends them to other people, having never seen any of them.
Yeah, and I just not being able to convert Geoff's score system, just saying all of them are great. You should watch this. It's great.
Well, I think everything inherently has value. It's all just how you look at it. All things.
All
Have
things.
value. Yeah. Every film has value to the right person.
Even Guest House Paradiso, maybe you should watch that.
I'll give it a shot.
There's vomiting and nipples in it.
Oh, well, I just watched a lot of those, but I'm willing to check it out for sure. Speaking of vomiting, what's up, Andrew?
Oh, I want to know your lifestyle change.
Okay. So, I wonder the best fucking it looks like Gerard Depardieu throwing toilet paper.
I guess it should be. It's a GIF, but it's not playing. Never mind.
I guess I'll do this. You guys feel free to go watch it. It's a little compilation I put together today, a minute and 46 seconds, and then we'll come back and discuss.
So what am I watching exactly? Is this on Twitch or what is this?
So what you're watching, this is on YouTube. This is on YouTube. What I have given you is a compilation of some of the clips I've recorded on my phone from a live stream that appears on YouTube 24 hours a day right now that I stumbled onto. Emily and I stumbled onto it 2 weeks ago, and it has taken over our lives. In Key West, Florida, there is a bar called Sloppy Joe's. And Sloppy Joe's put up a webcam that they broadcast 24 hours a day. It's been going for like 4 months straight without an interruption. And they put up a webcam at the entrance to their bar, and it kind of faces out towards the street to an intersection. It's on a place called Duval Street in Key West, which is like their version of 6th Street or Bourbon Street. And so what I cut together for you, Andrew, is highlights that I've been sending to Gavin and Eric for weeks.
Oh, we got to fight.
Now.
They're fighting. I'm sorry. That's okay. The fight's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So the compilation included a guy throwing up in a trash can. It included just a straight up go-kart just driving around the street, which was very funny. It included a lady deciding to take a nap on the middle of the street, and then I cut out about 3 minutes of her rolling around on the ground, and then she gets up and just books it. It included a bunch of nerds getting into a fist fight. It included a dude doing some weird dancing. Just a bunch of nonsense. And then at the end, it included a guy who walked right up to the camera who had a shirt on that said, "Hey, face," which I took as a sign that
nothing to do with us.
It was like a North Face shirt, but it said, "Hey, face." And I thought, like, wow, this is the universe telling me that I'm in the right place right now. I've been watching this channel at night nonstop. Like, I have it on in the background. Anytime there's like a commercial break or halftime in a Celtics game, I'm over there watching it. I keep it up on my phone. I've become addicted to it. And it's just this camera that's out front of this bar in Key West. And Key West is, at this time of year, is just full of like old fucking like bald middle America lawyers and dentists and accountants and shit in their 50s who are going down to Florida to cut loose and getting fall over drunk, and they are getting into fights. They're flashing their old man titties at the camera. They're taking naps in the street. There's dudes dressed up like Rocky taking photos with people, even though the dude dressed up like Rocky is probably like 280 and pushing 60. Maybe. It's insanity. It's bedlam. And Emily and I have been so obsessed with watching it that I started to write down all the things that I was seeing. And very quickly, that turned into, let me pull up Discord. That turned into an idea that I want to show you guys right now. as soon. Go fuck off with this. Select more photos nonsense. All right, here we go. What the fuck? There we go. There we go. Uploading to the Discord. Sloppy Joe's Bingo.
Okay. Yeah.
I have created
great.
Sloppy Joe's Bingo. We have written down about 55 of the things that happen the most frequently that always happen, because I've been playing bingo every night, adding and modifying and eliminating until I have it whittled down to about 50 things. I want us all to get together, and you see some of the things on bingo. Tricycle. That's it. There's these weird tricycle cars that are always driving around. People crying happens all the time. People in dumb hats happens all the time. Almost get hit by car constantly. Puking on the ground or in a trash can at least once a night. Couple fighting, guaranteed. Dudes with bandages, I promise you'll see one. Guy on guy scooters, nothing funnier than watching two dudes try not to touch each other on the same scooter. Skateboarders, they're everywhere. Car delivery pickup, you see that fairly often. That's an easy one. Sucking on a chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze. There's a hot dog stand right down there, and people love to eat their chili dogs right into the camera. You see that a bunch. Tons of mullets. Free space is called fuck space. Can hear the cover band playing Green Day. Happens at least 8 times a night. People in formal attire. It's a beach, but it does happen. People sitting on the curb. People wearing cowboy hats. Cop cars, ambulances, fire trucks. They're constant. People in go-karts. You just saw one. People picking their nose. Picking a wedgie out of their butt. Scratching their crotch. Spitting. All that shit happens. Bachelorette parties. Please. Dancing. You already saw some of that. Luxury cars. I saw Rolls Royce the other night. Aggressive honking. It's the best. Ghost tour bus. That swings by 5 or 6 times a night. Plus about 30 other things. I have the Sloppy Joe's bingo cards randomized so we all get different stuff. My idea is that we all get together one night. The sucky thing is like prime time is like 10 or 11 p.m. our time in Austin.
Okay.
But we all get together and then somehow we all watch the live stream and then somehow stream via Twitch or whatever, us commenting on it and playing bingo.
I cannot wait to do this.
Yeah, this is a great idea.
Will we have the ability to like zoom in on the stream to like show stuff up close?
I mean, I don't know. It's just on YouTube. Like you have the controls that you have on YouTube. I don't know how the logistics of it work, honestly. But I think if we can figure out where we just like all like broadcast together, I don't know. Like you were showing me that thing the other day, Andrew. And then we can invite the audience to tune in and then they can open up like riff tracks. They can open up the screen themselves. I don't know what the legality is of us rebroadcasting a public live stream because all this shit is happening publicly. I don't even know what I can do with that video. I just recorded that stuff off my screen, but it's just people in a public space. So I don't know if we can maybe release it or not. We'll have to maybe look into that a little bit.
Is there privacy in public? I feel like there's not.
I think it's less about privacy in public and more about it being not our video.
Stream. Yeah.
Sure.
But the video is of a public space, right? So it's confusing.
If we pick a time to do this stream and have our own bingo cards and say it's 10 p.m. Central Time on whatever date, and we get together at Geoff's house and Andrew watches at the same time, and we all have our bingo card, and then it's all scrambled up. We all have different bingo cards. I bet we could tell people, hey, we're doing it at this time, or we can maybe record something and put it out with some kind of timestamp or recorded piece. I just don't know about broadcasting live the same, like the thing.
The interesting thing about the stream is because it's constantly broadcast, it's not being pulled down and archived. So you have a 12-hour buffer. So you can go backwards 12 hours and that's it. And then so I think it has to be like in the moment, you know what I mean? Or we have to clip 30 minutes out of that stream and then decide that we're going to, re-upload it.
What if we couldn't we do it. We're like watching it live. And we can't stop until we get a bingo. We just have to continue.
Well,
potentially
I mean,
days.
I love that idea, but you'll get the bingo. I mean, I've been playing it for a couple weeks. I think we'll get a bingo within 20 minutes.
Really?
My fear is that we get bingo too fast.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Full card.
When I was describing it to Gavin,
what about full card?
I was saying it's like well, you just get a bingo in any direction, not full card. Full card would be fucking.
No, but I'm saying if we did it full card, how long do you think that would take?
Oh, I don't know. That could be brutal.
Okay.
I think we play it as a regular bingo, and we do what I was telling Gavin, the old Achievement Hunter Minecraft rules, which is if the game takes 5 minutes, we play it 10 times. If it takes 50 minutes, we play it once.
And pretend like that was the plan all along.
Yeah, and then and then we have the power of editing, so it was always the plan.
The premise of being like 6 hours into a Sloppy Joe stream miserable, just waiting for a guy on a scooter is really funny to me.
Oh, it's fucking the best, dude. It's
To the point where we're calling people who live nearby, telling them to get on a scooter.
I'm
Exactly.
it'll be like 1 a.m, and Emily and I'll be trying to go to bed, and I'll be screaming, "Cowboy hat, for fuck's sake, man, come on!" And Emily's like, "Trip off a curb, I want to go to sleep." Yeah, it's pretty fucking fun.
I just mean like it's absurd to wait for these things. So like if we had to like really wait, if we were like, fuck, I'm so fucking sick of watching Sloppy Joes for as long as we have. Please, for the love of God, will someone just fight someone? Will a bandage guy just walk by? Please, we need to get out of this. Like I think there's something really funny in that.
It's definitely funny. We could do like a plussed up marathon version. You know how like Rooster Teeth did that like Uno stream?
Sure.
I almost said Uno stream. We could do like our version could be like the Sloppy Joe fucking stream. And but this only works as long as this fucking live stream is up, because I have scoured the internet after I found Sloppy Joe's, and there are no other cameras that are of similar quality and location. Like there's nothing on 6th Street. There's nothing I could find on Bourbon Street anymore. If anybody knows of good ones, I'd love it.
I didn't know you were allowed to just film the street with security cameras. Or like film. I thought you have to like aim it at your own property.
I mean, that's probably their property, isn't it? It's
The
their
whole
si-
street?
it's- No. It's like this. It's the sidewalk, like probably right in front of their business, and that's. I mean, I think that's probably like the long and short of it. No.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, the
Yeah.
government does it.
Think about it. And if the government does it, then Sloppy Joe can do it. I do think this is something we should do. I think that we should offline and pick a day and a time, and then we can, scramble up bingo cards and do this. And I mean, shit, worst comes to worst, I bet I can screen record and we can figure out how to release something like this. It's a really good idea, Geoff. This is a really good idea.
I feel like it's worse than the falls though, in that if we don't put the video in somehow,
have
it's
to.
gonna
There's
be
no
completely
point.
We have
worthless.
to.
There'd be no way for the people to enjoy it if they couldn't. see it.
No, I think we have to. I think we have to put the video in. It's let me kind of poke at some things and see if I can figure it out. But
If I was 23 years old and on Twitch, it wouldn't even matter. I would be able to do it for like 5 years and it wouldn't be an issue.
Unfortunately, you started a business 20 years
I know.
ago and it's owned by somebody else. So
I
can't
know.
really just do whatever we want all the time.
What
I
if we did
know.
it under Fluke Face?
It's a great idea. I have an Anal Passage YouTube channel that is ripe for you.
Oh my God.
Use that again.
Anyway, when I say I'm in my sloppy area, what that has ushered in is it has changed how I live. I now, kind of at the same time, I started wearing these pants that Emily got me for Christmas that they were like almost like pajamas. They're like, I don't know how to describe. They're like almost like parachute pants, but they're like gathered at the bottom and they're like pajamas. And I've started wearing them 24 hours a day because they're so comfortable. Like I don't even care. I was hanging out the other night, getting dinner with superfan Vanessa and her husband Bernie and Emily. And Bernie looked at me and he's this like really cool artist, heavy metal dude. And he goes, "You just gave up, huh? You just totally given up?" And I was like, "Pretty much. I just wear the pajama pants 24 hours a day now." We've started eating Sloppy Joes. We've had Sloppy Joes 3 times since we started watching Sloppy Joes. I got 2 Lazy Boy recliners, so now I'm sitting sloppy. I just sit in a recliner.
That is a really sloppy era that you're in. My favorite thing on the bingo card is how subjective some of them are. Dumb hat.
Oh yeah,
pretty
you'll see it when you see it though.
Okay.
Like some dude in a top hat walking around the beach. It's a dumb hat.
That's fair.
It's also contextually. I'm glad that you found this era, Geoff, that you're now in, and it's brought you so much joy.
Yeah, I call it Year of Slop, and I'm gonna embrace it. It's gonna be my slop year.
I'm mad at you for putting me in an era. I'm annoyed with you.
Well, what does that mean?
You have put me in an era that I wouldn't have been in otherwise, and all it does is bring pain. I have been watching the XFL since it started, based on your recommendation. Geoff messaged me, we got to record this thing. I've got an idea. And so we recorded a podcast all about XFL fandom. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll get into this. Now, for how it works in Canada, I have to watch these games live or else I don't see them. They play once on a streaming service. There's no way for me to record it, so I have to lock in. We're now 3 or 4 weeks into the XFL season. We have not recorded a second episode. I don't think we will record a second episode, but I'm still watching these games, taking notes on all the things that are happening and how I feel about it, and being disappointed because I've been following the Seattle Sea Dragons, who have, through the first 2 weeks, been awful. So bad. They keep screwing things up. They're just terrible. I hate Ben DiNucci. They won last week. I wasn't able to watch it because I had something else going on, and I have to see it live or else I don't see it. So I missed the only win they've had all year, and they, after a back-to-back second week, they blew it. Completely blew it. I sat in my bathtub mad at you, Geoff. I was like, I'm genuinely frustrated by this team, and I only care about this team because Geoff recommended. I don't want to have opinions on Ben DiNucci, Geoff. You've made me have opinions on Ben DiNucci, and I hate it.
Well, let me say I think it was a great idea, and I think it was a great. The problem is we got there a little too late. I wish that I had identified that XFL was going to be coming out a little earlier so we could have put a little more prep work into it. I thought the test that we did on week 1 or right before week 1 went really well, but then just life got in the way and we could never get...
Are you watching the games?
Yeah, I still am.
Okay.
I'm going to commiserate with you. Because I'm a Brahmas fan. Dude, I bought all the Brahmas gear. I'm walking around my house in San Antonio Brahmas clothes. They're 1 and fucking 2. They're terrible.
What?
All right? What? What do you mean what?
You bought the gear?
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
if I'm
yeah.
going to be a
No,
Brahmas
he's
fan, I'm
all
wearing
in.
fucking Brahmas clothes.
Never mind, I guess. I was going to say, well, the USFL kicks off in mid-April, so there's time
Thought
if
about
we
it.
want to do a USFL thing, but I wasn't aware that you bought all the Brahmas gear.
Could you just do a summary episode at the end of the season?
Yeah, that's what I was
Maybe
going
we
to say. I
should.
think we
That's a
need
good
to
idea.
record one, and it could be a 2-episode thing maybe, or even just one. I think it's funny the beginning and then the end of where we ended up with our fandom.
I just got out a little ahead of my skis on this podcast, and I had a burst of creativity, and I just wanted to test it with you. And the test went well enough that I know it's possible. It's a sweet logo, right?
That's the worst logo I've maybe
What are you
ever
talking
seen
about?
for
It's
sports.
all lightning.
It's
Gavin,
yeah.
it looks like a bug.
Dude, how else do you make a cow cool?
That
You make it a
looks.
lightning
Look at
cow.
that.
No.
Look at it.
No.
Look at it,
Eric.
That's an ant.
Eric?
It's an ant. That is a
No.
bug. Their logo
Eric, you need to look.
is a bug.
You need to look inside yourself right now and realize that your hate of the Chargers is bleeding into how you feel about this
Wow.
logo. You see lightning.
See, I don't.
and you're triggered by it.
Can we?
It's deep down.
Can we get together sometime and we should look at the XFL logos and maybe
I would love that.
and rank them.
Yeah.
Because I have them.
Can we see more examples?
I give you all of them.
There's only 8 teams.
There's 8 teams?
Gavin,
Dude,
that's
how about
it.
this? Gavin, there are 8 teams in the entire league of the XFL, which, by the way, I don't know if you know this, is owned and run by The Rock.
Yes,
I
that's
know
why
that.
they're
Johnson.
the Brahmas.
3 of the 8 teams are in Texas.
Yes.
They all just look like other logos.
Yes.
Only one fucking team, I believe. No, only 2 teams are on the East Coast, Orlando and DC. Everything else is West Coast. It makes no sense.
The Battlehawks has the worst logo.
Well, here's the
Disagree.
Really?
Disagree.
No, I
the
disagree.
well, here's the problem with the fucking Battlehawks. I've decided that they're my enemies because they played the Brahmas in opening day and they kicked the shit out of them. And the worst part about it is fucking A.J. McCarron is their goddamn quarterback, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of Alabama football, and I got to fucking root against them? It's a bummer.
8
He had all
teams?
his
So what? How many games are there?
10 for
10
season.
or 11, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's 10.
Huh.
Yeah, the
Interesting.
season lasts like 3 or 4 months. That's why I thought it was perfect. It's like the relaunch of this. Like it basically died, and then The Rock bought it from Vince McMahon, I guess.
Yeah, that's
and
correct.
brought it back.
So what do they do at the end? Is it like the Rock Bowl? Like who wins?
Yeah, it's the Rock Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Rock Bowl.
It's going to be in San Antonio, Super Bowl.
It is. We're going.
That's close to you.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah, we're
but
gonna
the
go, don't worry.
USFL also only has 8 teams, right?
That's true.
And these are their logos, and these look like logos. The XFL logos do not look like logos. The XFL logos are bad.
I disagree. I think there are more USFL logos I dislike than XFL.
Never
There's
even
only
heard
one
of the
XFL
USFL.
logo I think is terrible.
USFL is another thing that's just, it's an old thing that's a new thing again.
See, you have all these leagues. This is perfect for relegation. Everyone who loses in the main NFL should go into the XFL.
Oh, Gavin, it's never going to happen because this is all like worse than college football. Like,
It's perfect.
This is you'll never get it. It'll never happen.
Oh, man. Imagine if the Renegades went up.
I found the XFL to be very engrossing this season.
Engrossing.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. They have some fun rules.
The level of play, hit or miss, fun rules. I don't know. Were you keep up with the lemon issue in the first week? That was by far one of the greatest sports stories I've seen recent times.
Absolutely. The beer snake?
Yeah, the beer snake.
Beer
they
snake
confiscated. Yeah, so it was the Seattle Sea Dragons game against the Washington Defenders. And I guess the Defenders fans have this ritual of making a beer snake where like everybody in the stands puts their beer cup together and it extends several rows. And they're in the process of doing that. And then security confiscated the beer snake. So all the fans started pelting the field with lemons.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know where they got those. Like, those are huge lemons. I don't know where they got all the lemons from, but they're like hitting players and refs with the lemons. So they had to briefly stop the game. And then it changed the momentum of the game where Seattle was like dominating. And then Washington rallied after the lemon attack that they generated themselves, that their own security team stole. And there's this great moment where like the sideline reporter like gave an update and is like, yeah, we went to the side and they were like, we have no idea why they stole our beer snake, but we will not stop throwing lemons until it's returned to us.
There must have been one fan who was the point of contact between everyone else and security. And he had to be like, look, you guys took the beer snake. The lemons are going to keep coming. You're going to have to give the beer snake back. It just became like a unified front of lemons.
It's like they do so much fun stuff. Like, they have everybody mic'd up. You're hearing the coach, and the coach is fucking, every coach in that league is wild and says wild shit. You're getting access on the sidelines that's just insane. I'm going to share this with you guys real fast. Hold on, just to show you. Here's like what the filming is like. It's a TikTok called XFL Cameraman Got No Chill. It's they're invasive.
He went straight in with a squat, a handheld squat. That's great.
That's what's going on in the XFL. It is fucking nuts.
That might be the most condescending stance I've ever seen in my life.
It has made me question all football coaches, the level of access we have. Like, I don't know if the Seattle Sea Dragons coach is an idiot or if this is just like standard coach speak, but like they lost the second game to a field goal with 2 seconds left. They were like up by 1 and they lost by 2, I want to say. And they called a timeout to try to ice the kicker. And so they called the timeout and everybody kind of like walks back to their sideline and their coach yelled, "Tell them they need to block this." It's like, great fucking analysis. I'm glad. Wow. Great job. Is that what like all coaches say? Like, I don't know. I need to know if that's what all coaches do or if he's just ridiculous in that way. Like, there's another play where it was 4th and whatever. And he's like, tell them that they need to convert this. It's like, no shit. Like, what is that doing? Like, it's not a
Do
play.
they attempt live censoring of swearing?
No. There's no point.
No,
there's
they
no
don't care.
Well, I think they don't want it, but they don't have the tech to stop it.
They did a thing that was one of the worst ideas. It seemed cool, but I saw it a bunch on opening day, and I haven't seen it nearly as much since, is they would throw to the booth when they're reviewing a play to see if it was a penalty or not. And you see the guy who's like in the XFL, like the professional who's determining whether a call was correct or not. And he looks so fucking lost and confused, and it's just a dude on a computer going, and you're like, oh my God, I hope that's not how they do it in the NFL and in the NBA, because that is brutal.
It made it more entertaining though. Like, I wish the NFL would do that. Like, you cut to them and it's like, you hear him saying like, okay, what angles do we have? Is that the only angle we have of this? What about this? Let's try this. Let's go to this. and like hearing it all live, like it feels better than.
You're making him sound more competent than he looked.
I don't know. Maybe the games I saw with him were different than yours, but he was great in the ones I saw.
If I had to film on a sport that had like decisions based on footage, I would find that so stressful. Like if I was not only getting coverage of the game for the viewers, but I was also providing evidence.
Yes.
I'd be so stressed.
Also, you're doing that for the
Your
XFL.
shitty camera work affects the game.
Well, not just that.
Yeah.
There's 6 cameras, I assume, at most. It's like 4. Like they can't have many cameras per game at the XFL, as opposed to the NFL, where they're like, nah, we have no angle of this. And it's like, what are you? You're a fucking $1 billion. What are you saying?
800 cameras. And
How do you not
angle.
have? It's insane. So I really enjoy the back, and so much of it just comes down to whatever the call on the field is, because they don't have an angle to like overturn it or whatever, or it's definitive.
I think they should mic the ball
That'd be
inside.
that would be great.
Just hear a lot of like people getting slammed and panting.
Who knows if it'll continue like this in future seasons, but it feels like the Wild West right now. It's just you don't know what you're going to tune in to see. It's insane every week.
It is.
Eric says we should wrap up. And speaking of access and wrapping up, I have one small story I want to tell you guys, because if I don't tell it this week, it'll never get told.
Before you get to that story, real quick, on the 23rd at 11 a.m. Central, me and Geoff are hosting a live shopping thing where we're going to be releasing the face baseball line, our jerseys and all that's a hat. Well, there's a bat. It's good stuff. So go tune in. And you could buy that stuff. And we're also giving away some of the cards to people who buy stuff. Now you can tell that story.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do like a break stuff. It's like a mixed break stuff and then live sale thing. So we'll pull like random cards and then we'll ship them to people that, like randomly
that's
buy
awesome.
merch. And I got to say, I've been wearing the jersey around the house. It's so fucking comfortable and it's so nice.
I like mine.
It really does rule. Eric said it rules. Okay, here's my brief story and then I'll let everybody go. The other day I decided I was cleaning out my closet. Spring cleaning, and I decided to take a bunch of stuff to the storage unit where all of our Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween decorations live. And it's like Fort Knox, the storage unit place. I don't really think about it much, but you have to enter in a code to get into the gate, right? And what's different about this one than any other one that I've been to is you also have to enter in a code to leave. You can't just like pull up and a sensor opens. If you make a move, if you move more than 10 feet in my storage unit, you have to enter a code. So I wasn't even thinking about it. I go there all the time. I basically live there from like October to January as we're shuttling Christmas and switching out Thanksgiving and Halloween and shit, because you know how insane Emily is with the decorations. And so I didn't really think anything of it, but I had like a bunch of old merch and stuff I wanted to hold on to. So I thought I'd throw it in storage. I drove over there and there was a guy putting in his code and he drives in. And so the gate was open. So I just followed him in and then I parked and I grab all the stuff out of the car. It's like a bunch of trash bags and I like hold it. And I walk up to the door to go in, the sliding door to go in to the storage unit. And I go to enter in the code. And I just don't know it anymore. Like, it's just gone. Like, I can remember the last half of it, but the first half doesn't exist. It's not even like, I can't remember. It's 4 numbers. I can't remember any of the numbers. Like, it's just like, it's like I forgot 4 numbers from my brain. Like, it goes like 1, 5, 8, 9 when I look at it. Like, they're just gone. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I go, that's weird. So I take a step back and I go through my phone. I try to find anywhere I have it written down in a notes app or something. I can't find anything. I try a bunch of different codes. I'm not getting anywhere because I clearly don't. I don't even have any like a first or last number to go off of. I just don't remember it. And so I text Emily and I'm like, hey, this is embarrassing, but I don't know how to get into the storage shed facility right now. If you could just text me back with our code, I'd appreciate it. And she doesn't respond because she's at work. And, when Emily's at work, she's cutting somebody's hair for an hour or 2 hours at a time. She's not on her phone and she doesn't have access to her phone because she's, her hands are busy. And I think like, depending on where she is in a haircut right now, I could be fucked for like an hour. And I go, this is clearly not worth it. So I take all the stuff and I throw it back in my car and I back up to leave. And that's when I remembered you need the code to leave. And I look around, and there's nobody leaving or coming in. There's just that one car, and he went inside. I don't know where he is. And I realize I'm fucking trapped in the storage unit. I can't get out. I can't get out of there's no way for me to leave this facility. And so I go, and I park again, and I just sit there, and I think for a while, and I text Emily again in futility, and I don't know what to do. And I thought, well, if I sit here long enough, somebody will come and open the gate, and then I can leave that way. And just nobody ever does. And I would say after maybe 20 minutes of just like listening to a podcast in my car, I think, oh, I'll have Emily, I'll text the Superfan Vanessa because she works the front desk, and she can go over and just physically ask Emily the code and then come back and give it to me. Apparently Vanessa was gone for the day, but she still somehow managed to get in touch with Emily. So like another 10 minutes later, I get the code from Emily, and I'm like, thank Christ, because I've been at the storage unit for 30 minutes at this point, just sitting in my car. So I grab all the bags out again, all the trash bags, and I go in and I enter in the code, and I can't believe I ever forgot it. And of course, that's the code. I've known it. I have it ingrained in my brain. I'll never forget it again until the next time. And I go in and I go up to the elevator. Like when you go through the sliding glass doors, you go into an elevator room, and then there's another door that's locked, and then beyond that is like the first floor. It's a multi-floor. I'm not on the first floor. You need a different code per floor to get in, right? So I don't have access to the first floor, just to the elevator room. And so I go, and it says like, oh, elevator's down for maintenance. Sorry, use the one on the other side of the building. And I'm like, motherfucker. But luckily the door is propped open because they're like, this sucks. You know, people that are on the second, third, and fourth, and fifth floor, they don't have a code to get in the first floor to go to the other elevator room. I'd have to walk out and go all the way around the building, which would take forever with a bunch of heavy bags. So I walk through because they left the door open, and I go all the way to the other side of the building, and I enter in my code, and I go up in the elevator, and I dump all my stuff, and I go down the code, I go down the elevator, and I turn to go back, and I see that the elevator, the door on the return, like from the other side elevator back across, is shut. And my code doesn't work. And so I then have to fucking walk out and walk around the entire circumference of this giant storage facility in the fucking, I mean, it's only maybe 88 in Texas right now, but it's still hot as shit, all the way back in so that I can get in and leave. And I was so fucking angry and so mad that I spent, and when it was all said and done, like over 45 minutes just to drop off 2 trash bags. That's my story.
Why do they want people trapped on their property? Why would they? Who does that benefit?
I have no idea. But I'll tell you, if I was trying to steal something, I was fucked. There was no way I was stealing anything. That's for sure.
What if you were just alone? What if you didn't know anyone? Would you have to call the police?
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. There's an office where you could go in and just ask the guy your code or whatever. Except it wasn't open at 2 p.m. on a fucking Wednesday. He was just gone for the day. He decided to call it early.
I wonder if anyone has ever starved to death just waiting for someone to open a door.
I would have had to eat old Achievement Hunter shirts to survive. That's all I had. Anyway, it was super embarrassing. And here's maybe not a life hack, but life pro tip for you. If you're going to go to your storage unit, be sure you have your code before you go through the Fort Knox of gates.
Yeah. Or maybe don't like go to a storage unit owned by the Riddler.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's also
it's
a
like the
sign.
beginning of Mystery Science Theater when they're trying to go into the movie.
all the doors.
Yeah. Or like Get Smart. Ugh. Okay. Well, Eric wants us to stop.
Okay. Bye.
That was the end.
Prompt stop.
Was that it? Is that how it ended? Typically there's an outro.
Well,
Right?
Geoff usually does the outro. I'm not going to step in on his toes.
Oh, man. Oh, you know what? I was going to say, did we already stop or are we still going?
No,
Because if we're still going, I wanted to say, hey, we don't do a very good job of promoting it, I don't think, or talking about it, but we have a face YouTube channel that has all of our videos and stuff on it. I've seen some people talking about it and asking to where to watch certain videos in social media lately. And please take a look at our YouTube channel. It's got a new regulation animation up. It's the Scrumper No Scrumping. The Apple Scrumping saga is up there, as well as every podcast we do and all of our supplemental video content like bike jumps and pizza making and stuff.
Does it do up by now?
I don't know if the new episodes of Does It Do are up yet.
By now, yes. Unless we put it up, yes, it should be out.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, check out the new Does It Do. But please, if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to that YouTube channel because, I'm afraid we're not doing a good job of letting people know about it.
We're not.
That was a pretty good job, though. I see that was pretty good, Eric. You say that was good?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, except for the part where we ended the one time, so everybody tuned out, and then hopefully they stuck around for the rest of it. Yeah. I think we did a great job.
What else are we not doing a good job
real
of promoting?
fucking banger, dude. Yeah, hell
We
yeah.
have a YouTube channel. We have an Instagram. We have a Twitter account.
Yep.
We have all that stuff.
We have all that
This
stuff.
is where you would plug what their ats are.
That's just the name of this podcast.
For the YouTube channel, I think it's FCK Pod, FCK Face Pod, right?
Oh, so it's not. It's
Is it really?
It's not the name of the podcast.
Think so. It's weird. So.
Oh.
But if you search F***K FACE, you'll get there.
You know, I would, as our YouTube advisor, Gavin, I would like for you to know that.
I refuse to take that position, I think.
You already took it.
No,
What are you talking about?
You took it. By the way, how are my thumbnails, Gav? Am I doing a good job?
Yeah, I've been meaning to say you've done a great job with the thumbnails, Geoff.
Oh, thank you so
You've been
much.
killing it.
Well, thanks for listening to Face. This has been a great episode 146. You can follow us at Face Pod on Instagram and on Twitter. Check us out on YouTube. You can listen to these wherever you get podcasts. You go to roosterteeth.com, check out everything we've done previously. And that'll do it for this week for Geoff and Gavin and Andrew and Geoff. I'm Eric, and thanks for listening. Bye.
Yeah,
Now we're
it's
done.
Face Pod.
Okay.
Yeah.
They cut.
Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. What is the worst pet? Who loves sea monkeys? Condor Man is in the air. The boys talk does it do. Is Face responsible for Banks failing? And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Face.